We drove to the cemetery. We drove through the middle half of it. We did see one solitary individual off by a tombstone. Older man, kind of hunched over. He was the only one in the cemetery. So I walked over to where he was seated. He had a lawn chair all set up there and was about to sit down. He later told me he was going to read to his wife. And so I approached him and held out my hand and walked up to him and says, "Good morning, my name is Chip." And I could tell from the expression on his face, it was almost like an instant connection there. And I think John had a great phrase to describe it.
As I watched it, I said to the people in the car with me that the timelines are crossing. This is Chip from the future meeting Chip in the present. Certainly what triggered Art going out was when we were at a distance, but I could see the name Artie. And that was a trigger. Right. And to the left of the tombstone was your mother's maiden name. Another
tombstone with the name of Gordon, which is my mother's maiden name.
We reached a point where I was telling him about my wife, and I got emotional. And he reached out and put his hand on my shoulder.
Sure, maybe, I don't know, crossing, like whatever word you used before the cross.
The timelines crossed.
The time crossed. It was just unbelievable.
It was a very unsettling, very powerful, poignant morning for all four of us. Unreal. Just unreal. And what made it especially unreal is that this woman who came down the alley, who got to be at some point mildly irritating, and we were trying to disentangle ourselves from her. If it weren't for her, we never would have known about this other story that was going to unfold for us 10 minutes later, and everything's interconnected. It's all connected one way or another. Fortunately, it wasn't just one of us who experienced this, because if one of us came back with this story, nobody would have believed it. But it's like three people in a foursome at golf saying, yeah, he really did get a hole-in-one.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we got a combination of a hole-in-one and a home run.
And a home run.